wonderfully warm and breezy early spring evening at beautiful L. Mitchell Park in Norman for the first meeting in over 30 years between the 12th-ranked Oklahoma Sooners and the Louisiana Tech Bulldogs out of Conference USA. The Sooners closing out non-conference play tonight. They've got SEC action ahead of them this weekend as they'll open at South Carolina. And alongside former Sooner Rich Hills, I'm Chad McKee. Skip Johnson's team off to a very good start at 14-1. What have you liked about it, Rich?
Yeah, they've pitched the ball very well, especially on the weekends. You know, like I said, with Kites and Witherspoon throwing well. And the offense has gotten going pretty well also with Walk and Branch leading the way.
For Louisiana Tech, they have made 3 NCAA tournament appearances in the last 4 seasons. They and Dallas Baptist, kind of the class of Conference USA these days, but they've had to restock the talent pool, so to speak, this year. How's that gone for them so far?
Yeah, talking to Coach yesterday, they're still trying to find their identity. You know, they've replaced 23 or 46 guys and, 7 transfers from Power 4 programs who think they're going to play well, but they're still trying to find their way.
For Oklahoma tonight, on the mound will be the junior left-hander Cade Crossland, 6'1", 210 pounds, out of Rockwall, Texas. Had a injury in the fall. They kind of shut him down, and he's got great potential, excellent stuff. Got roughed up a little bit in the midweek at Dallas Baptist last week. What is important for him as he tries to kind of bounce back from that here tonight?
Yeah, I think just keep pushing forward. You're going to have some outings like that, especially, that was a difficult night with the wind was howling. He left a couple balls up, but I think he's got really good stuff. And like you said, he's only going to get better the more he heals.
Has everything in the arsenal. Everything is power, from his fastball to his changeup. And he'll go against this lineup for the Bulldogs. Cade Patterson leads off. He'll be followed by Garrison Berkeley. Berkeley's off to an excellent start this year. Leads this Louisiana Tech team in hitting. He's transferred from UTA. Michael Ballard, Colton Coates, and Eli Birch. Then Trey Hawsey, followed by the right fielder Brody Drost. Center fielder Thaxton Birch, just his second start of the season. And the shortstop, Will Safford, who's a stolen base threat if and when he reaches, will bat ninth. Set to go, lefty versus lefty. Cade Patterson climbs aboard. And there's a first pitch fastball in there, about 94 miles an hour for a strike.
Yeah, like you said, he's got a power arm. Good slider, good changeup.
It is a beautiful night. This probably the best night baseball weather that we have had in Norman. Of course, the time change helps a little bit, so we got a little more sunshine at 6:30.
Yeah, for sure. And the wind's not, it's blowing, but not like it does a lot in the spring.
Yeah, this is a gentle breeze for Oklahoma springtime. That one bounces up there to Cade Patterson, batting .250, but he leads this Louisiana Tech in home runs with 4 of them. And I'm going to show you some fun pictures of Cade Patterson and the guy that's down at third base for Oklahoma tonight. That's Dawson Willis. There's a fastball that's swung on and missed. Cade Patterson, a guy, he is a local product. He's from Ruston. It was a big surprise to them this spring. Had an arm injury last year, so they had to bring him back slowly, as he was injured and didn't play a season ago, but he's already come through with some big hits. Had a game-tying hit and then a winning sacrifice fly in their series opening win to start the year against Maine. Infielder over there on the third base side was Dawson Willis. He couldn't get to it. So if the shift isn't on, is that play going to be made?
Oh, yeah, that's an easy play. He got jammed pretty good. It's what they've been doing, though, with left-handers with 2 strikes. They move Willits over to the right field side of second base, and Willis is over there by himself on the left side of the field.
So it's a leadoff hit on the infield for Patterson, and here is Berkeley. Garrison Berkeley began his collegiate career at TCU and then spent 3 years at UTA. And Lane Burroughs said he's just a pro, the way that he goes about his work. Kind of a low throw over there at first base. Dayton Taki is at first for the Sooners tonight.
Yeah, and Skip really likes Taki's defense. Says he's a great defender over there.
Swung the bat well so far this year as well. Good looking pitch there. I think that's the first one of those we've seen that really snapped off and in.
Yeah, good hard breaking ball. And he's got, like we talked about earlier, he's got good stuff.
One is swung on and missed, kind of a high fastball there. Garrison Berkeley, 486 on base average. So he has been very good in addition to those numbers that you see here. Cade Crossland, the lefty, a little bit in with that one. So the wind that we have, it is a southwest wind tonight, about 10-15 miles per hour. It's blowing out toward pretty much straightaway center, maybe left center a little bit. But it's gorgeous. Temperature got up into the 80s in Norman today. Here you see Old Glory. So you get a ball up in the air, it's going to be assisted, especially you get it up above the roof of the stadium. 2-2 sprays this one foul. Up and over. 9-7 mark for Louisiana Tech. The Bulldogs drove into Norman yesterday. They're going to stay here and then drive up to Wichita, take on Wichita State in a 3-game weekend series. It's still non-conference play for CUSA. They don't have as many teams as the SEC, so not as many conference series that the Bulldogs, their mates in CUSA, have to get in. So they're going to make up a series with the Shockers, one that is it's a makeup series from pre-COVID. Lane Burroughs was telling us, Rich.
Yeah, definitely long overdue.
Good battle here between Cade Crossland and Garrison Berkeley. Another foul tip that bounced off of the Sooner catcher, Mudler. You see why Berkeley is so good at getting on base.
And he's got a good two-strike approach. He's up on the bat a little bit. You know, looks like he's looking fastball away and reacting in, but you know, hitting 386 and with his on-base percentage, he's got a pretty good idea what he's doing.
Low throw over. Taki has to scoop it up. Taki's got those glasses on. He's got his shades on because it's a tough sun field right now for all the guys on the right side. Center fielder, right fielder, first baseman to a certain extent. Got him picked off. Oh. And the ball pops out of the glove of Taki. So Patterson will reach first base safely. Taki, he lost the ball, lost his hat.
Yeah, good move. Caught him cheating.
Just didn't have it squeezed tight there on the slap.
Yeah, it just popped out of his glove, and I think the Patterson's heel came up and hit him in the head a little bit, knocked his hat off.
In the air down the right field line, pretty well hit, but it's in foul ground and over into the Bulldogs bullpen. So Crossland having a tough time retiring Garrison Berkeley. Sooner pitching staff, ERA of 3.59 coming in. You mentioned the weekend starting pitching that's been excellent. Between Malachi and Kyson Witherspoon and then what Cam Johnson has been able to do, Oklahoma set in their weekend rotation, you would say, going into SEC play. And I think they felt good about it, but just to know that Cam Johnson could go out there and be that third guy behind the Witherspoon brothers as this pitch is up and away. Throw down and bring out a fresh supply of baseballs to Brandon Meisen, the plate umpire, on batter number 2. Here's Michael Ballard, the second baseman. A little bit upstairs with that one. Ballard, grad student from Longwood, Florida. Went to Eckerd College. He's got 95 hits in his 2 seasons at Louisiana Tech. And he's committed 1 total error. And Lane Burroughs said, we would dispute that error even. was on the road. Never know how scoring on the road's going to go.
That is for sure. At least at home you can appeal it and maybe get your guy to change it.
2-0 pitch to Ballard. There's a strike. 93 miles an hour with that fastball. This one rifled foul and out of play. So that'll send it to 2-2 against Ballard. Michael Ballard batting .295. He started all 17 games, and he is tied for the team lead in runs driven in with 14 of them. He's also hit 3 home runs. And a full count now. Hard, but right at Jason Walk.
He squared that ball up. Good thing it wasn't too high in the air.
There is the 9th-year head coach of the Diamond Dogs, Lane Burroughs. What a run they've been on. 3 NCAA regional appearances. And Dallas Baptist, being in that league, Rich, as good as DBU's program has been under Dan Hefner, it's kind of elevated the profile of the conference as a whole, wouldn't you say? Yeah,
it's made it more of an appeal for better players to come play because they know they're going to play against DBU and some other teams, and it's easier to get guys in when you have a little more appeal to your league.
The Bulldogs lost the Player of the Year Ethan Bates out of Conference USA last year. It's a guy that had 15 saves and 15 home runs. That Ethan Bates.
Wow.
Drove in 69 runs for this Louisiana Tech team. And then Sam Broderson, who was drafted 15th round by the Cardinals. So we talk about him having to restock the talent pool. 1-1. Strike called by the plate umpire Brandon Meisen. So Cade Patterson down at third. And Cade Crossland trying to hold him there. One-two to Colton Coates. The 2-2 is hit in the air for Cade Patterson, but he's left stranded at third base. No score, headed to the home half of the first. We'll give you the Oklahoma batting lineup when we return to Norman. Right-hander, he is a transfer from Stephen F. Austin, and just a great story that they kind of have known for a long time. Lane Burroughs and Cooper Fouts, the pitching coach. Cade Parker is a junior, but played his time there at Stephen F. Austin, was looking for a place to go. He grew up about 25 miles from Ruston, went to Lincoln Junior College prior to Stephen F. Austin, but has always wanted to play at Louisiana Tech, Rich, and he came to a showcase.
Yeah, it's crazy. For an older guy to go to a showcase, Coach was talking to us about it yesterday. Being able to do that with a lot of young high school guys, or even younger than that, is impressive in its own. And it just shows how much he wants to play for this program. Like you said, he grew up 25 miles away and has always wanted to be a Bulldog, and here he is.
Any guy with a mustache like that means business, and he's ready to go. Jason Walk off to just a great start for the Sooners. Skip Johnson said he just knows the strike zone. They have so much confidence in him. He's reached base in all 14 games. Walk, Gamble, and Easton Carmichael, Jackson Willett, Sam Christensen, and Kyle Branch, with Taki, Scott Mudler doing the catching tonight, and Dawson Willis down at third base, the 9 for the Sooners. Jason Walk shows bunt, and that's the thing about him. He could show bunt, pull the bat back, and hit a home run. I mean, he's got that kind of speed and that kind of power, Rich.
Yeah, he's impressive. You know, taking over for Spikerman. He's done an amazing job.
Bounces this one, leaping to grab it is Colton Coates, climbing the ladder, and a strike to first to retire walk.
Yeah, nice play by Coates. That ball gets over his head. It's a double for sure with walk speed, even though that ball barely gets into left field.
It's kind of edging inside the bag at third because of the bunt threat shown by Walk, but not a problem there for Colton Coates. That is one thing Louisiana Tech has done extremely well so far this year is defend. As Trey Gamble stands in and takes this one outside.
Yeah, I think their fielding percentage is 980, which is well above the normal. You know, you're usually looking for like 970 on defense as a team.
1-0 to Gamble. In there. Skip Johnson was likening Gamble to an offensive lineman in football. You say, how's that? Doesn't look like he's that big. He said he's just so consistently good that you almost lose sight of what he's doing out there. But trust me, the staff and teammates realize exactly what he's doing.
Yeah, it kind of reminds me a little bit of Bryce Madron hitting from the left side.
1-2 on the ground toward second baseman Ballard. We told you he's committed one error in the last 2 years and did not there. So that'll bring in Easton Carmichael, who's off to a good start, not unexpected. The third-team All-American as a sophomore last year. This was back on Friday night. Rich
really picked it up.
Leads Oklahoma in home runs with 5, runs batted in with 17, and extra base hits with 11.
Yeah, you're not going to hold this guy down for very long. Great hitter.
The 0-1 pitch, a little bit outside there from Cade Parker, trying to work a 1-2-3 bottom of the first. In the air to right field. To his left is Brody Drost, and the inning is over. Sooners go 1-2-3, and we've got no score headed to the second in these two programs. And my partner played in the last. Number one, you can't be that old that you played in that 1993 game.
Yeah, trust me, I am that old. Yeah, we played them down in Lake Charles. We had a trip down there to McNeese State.
So you guys were you were playing the Cowboys of McNeese State, and Louisiana Tech came in from Ruston, and you played them too. It was a 2-0 win for the Sooners.
Yeah, it was a good game. When I just remember McNeese State and that stadium, and La Tech was a solid team at the time, obviously, with only a 2-run victory for us.
Leading things off here for the Bulldogs is Eli Birch, and you think, wow, these schools aren't that far apart, but Ruston's a pretty decent drive from Norman. And there are so many schools in that area, just like you're talking about, as Birch pops this one up. It is foul down the left field line. We'll see if Willis runs out of real estate, and he does. But there's so many schools. I mean, you don't have to go that far to get games if you are Louisiana Tech. Just as you were saying, you got McNeese, you got Northwestern State, and Lane Burroughs was the head coach at Northwestern State for a few years, and Natchitoches. You got Louisiana. I mean, you just name it.
East Texas.
Yeah, then you jump into those schools. Lamar and some of those Houston. This is his second strikeout. Skip Johnson, we were talking with Skip about you don't necessarily hit the reset button because you got conference play coming up, but we asked him, have things kind of gone the way that you had hoped? You go out, and he and Todd Butler and the staff, they have an idea of the holes they need to fill, who they need, what kind of players they need. And you have these expectations for guys. You hope that they can do what you need them to do. And so far, they really have, Rich.
Yeah, for the most part, all the newcomers have been really, really good on the mound and in the field. Dawson Willis is a great defender. Taki's a good defender. Kyle Branch, as a freshman, has been unbelievably good defensively and offensively. And you got Christensen's really good at the plate, and along with Gamble, like we talked about earlier.
Trey Hawsey, the first baseman, with the 1-2 count on him. Sooners asked Trey Hawsey. Back-to-back strikeouts, and now 3 for the Sooner left-hander.
Yeah, I'd like to see Crossland. Just a good pitch, just blew it right by him. I'd like to see Crossland get Drost here and have a quick inning after that long 26-pitch first inning.
First pitch is upstairs to Brody Drost. Yeah, it was well over 20 pitches in that first inning, but so many of them were to Garrison Berkeley. As Drost rifles this one foul, just past the edge of the Louisiana Tech dugout. 4th start of the year for Drost. 3 for 15 at the plate. Couple of guys in the lineup tonight. Faxton Birch, who is on deck, is making only his 2nd start. Cade Crossland threw that one right past him. We'll see how long Cade Crossland goes tonight. The Oklahoma bullpen is active. This being a midweek game, and a lot of arms that could be at Skip Johnson's disposal tonight. The 2-2 has popped out of play directly behind home plate. So intrigued with the start of SEC play this weekend. SEC, 12 teams ranked in the top 25. They have the top 4 and 5 of the top 7. And then Oklahoma is sitting 8th in at least one poll. They're 12th as well in another.
They're probably about the same, but you would hope those guys out there give these outfielders a little bit of trouble, back and forth.
You got to get SEC ready with talking to the outfielders out there. And Jackson Willits is just, the numbers may not show right now exactly how hard he's hitting the ball, Rich. Sam Christensen is in.
Yeah, he's been swinging the bat well. Just a lot of balls right at guys. You hit the ball hard. All you can do is hit it hard and hope it falls down somewhere. But they have those other 8 guys out there in front of you.
Yeah, Skip Johnson, he was saying, he said he couldn't remember a guy that he has seen hit more balls hard than Willits has the last 3 weeks. 4 hits, including a home run in the series win over Sam Houston this past weekend. As Christensen swings through that one. Willits dives back in. Jackson Willits last year was really asked to do what Kyle Branch is doing this year for the Sooners. His double playmate up there, Kyle Branch playing second base. Both of them right in the starting lineup. Second home run of the year for Sam Christensen. He's got 14 RBIs. He's got that up in what breeze we have. Now it's right for them to talk about it and just make sure they're okay, because, that's 400 feet out there.
Yeah.
And to be able to see it from the infield is not easy. So I think they'll probably just go and have a look at it.
Yeah, I couldn't tell. There's no yellow line on the fence, like they have at a lot of ballparks where it'd be a home run. But I couldn't tell if the ball hit the top of the fence and just bounced straight up and back in, or it hit the batter's eye like you said.
It certainly looked like, and we may be able to tell on the replay that you could see an impact on the screen out there, which the batter's eye is composed of. But a good hack here by Sam Christensen.
Yeah, he got behind that ball well. Ball down. He got.
I don't think
It looks like the top of the fence, so that should be a home run. It looks like it hit something behind the fence, actually. See that?
That's over the top of the yellow line.
So I don't know what. There's a platform out there or something, or.
Did you write your scorebook in pen?
Yeah.
Oh.
No.
th home run for the Sooners as a team if it stands. It certainly looked like it, and we didn't get a good view from wide, but it looked like the ball hit the batter's eye.
Taking a good look at it.
Yes, they are. This is what we call the curbside replay. 2-0 Oklahoma if it stands. Sam Christensen, South Mountain Community College in the Phoenix area, and transferring to Oklahoma this year. It is confirmed, a home run. Love that we now have microphones on the umpires to make the announcement in stadium. Man, we are getting somewhere with Hawkeye and microphones on the umpires.
Yeah, we're moving up.
As long as they don't try to do the whole broadcast, I'm okay with it.
Yeah, and there it is again.
So it kind of leaves the screen at the point where it would have hit the batter's eye. There's the celebration. And a 2-0 lead for the Sooners on the second home run of the year for Sam Christensen. So now you're Cade Parker. Maybe the review has helped you kind of compose yourself again out there on the hill.
Yeah, depending on how long it takes. He threw a couple warm-ups, try to stay loose. But, as a pitcher, you got to be able to put it behind you either way.
Here's Kyle Branch. We were just talking about him, the freshman, inserted at second base for Oklahoma since day one. And rightly so, highly recruited guy, and he has lived up to it, batting .352. He was the MVP of the Round Rock Classic the Sooners played in which they had 2 top 10 wins. One over 7th-ranked Oregon State and one over number 2 Virginia in 12 innings. It was Oklahoma's highest-ranked win since they beat then top-ranked Arkansas in 2021. And they beat top 10 opponents.
Looks like he's all right.
Branch, he looks unfazed.
These are never fun.
There were. Did you play with a chin guard? Not one that wrapped around like that.
We didn't even have those.
Did you have an earpiece cover?
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah, we weren't old school with just a catcher's helmet. That's old Dave Winfield right there.
Yeah.
He wore that catcher's helmet, just got grandfathered in, even when they had the ear hole. Talk about amazing athlete.
Oh, my gosh. Football, basketball, and baseball. Dave Winfield drafted. The Hall of Famer. One of the greats. So Branch is at first on the hit by pitch. Dayton Taki with a crack for the Sooners here. 2-run home run by Sam Christensen in the inning. Taki has come through with some big hits for the Sooners lately. Weatherford High School down in Texas, just to the west of the DFW Metroplex, and then went to Weatherford College there. Nothing in 2. And that one comes out of the glove of Birch. Quickly there, and I'm not sure that Kyle Branch was on the move.
No, didn't look like it.
But he will take second, and I would think they'll score that wild pitch. This is kind of an interesting look. Taki whacks this one foul.
I'd like to see Taki get out in front of something here. Hit something to the right side to get him to third base with less than 2 outs. Ball gets by him.
You going pass ball on that one?
Yes.
Yeah.
That ball's in the air.
It was not as wide as I thought, and he was certainly ready for it. The 1-2 is pulled foul up first base way. Dayton Taki, 6'2", 225. And that one squirts away from Birch. Another pass ball is going to move Branch down to third. Team they have defended really well this year as Taki spoils one there.
Taki just needs to get up on the bat and try to hit a ground ball in the middle of the field. Score Branch from third.
And he slams another one, fouling out of play. This Oklahoma team has been the most difficult team in the SEC to strike out. They have the fewest strikeouts in the SEC. Now they've played a couple fewer games than many of the other teams, but this one is Dayton Taki, and still nobody out with 3 runs home in the second.
Yeah, that's a good at bat by Taki. Fouled off a few pitches with 2 strikes and got a mistake from Cade Parker and drove it through the hole.
And now we'll have a meeting on the mound. Cooper Fouts is the pitching coach for the Bulldogs. So the 2-run home run by Sam Christensen. Branch hit by a pitch, couple of pass balls, and the base hit by Dayton Taki. Quick 3-0 start for the Sooners. There's activity out in the Bulldogs bullpen, but you like what Taki continues to do for this Sooner team.
Yeah, he sees up on the bat a little bit, 2-strike approach. The ball was left up bell high.
Cooper Fouts is back to the dugout. And Scott Mutler, the Sooner catcher, is in. He takes a strike from Parker. One and one the count. This Louisiana Tech team has been very good at turning double plays. They've turned 17 double plays already.
Yeah, they're averaging almost 3 a game.
Two balls and a strike. The Bulldogs were picked second in Conference USA behind Dallas Baptist. DBU, the Patriots, handed the Sooners their lone loss of the year down in Dallas in the midweek last week. This one blocked by Birch. Fouled back to the back screen. Sooners will make that trip to Columbia to take on South Carolina this weekend, Friday, Saturday, and Sunday. Every weekend series in the SEC to open conference play will have at least one ranked team, and 4 series will feature both teams being ranked.
Wow. Yeah, it's going to be a grind.
No doubt. So there is a walk to Mudler. 2 singles, a home run, a hit batsman, and the walk here in the inning. Still nobody out, and Dawson Willis is set to step in. Yeah, Tennessee is 17-0 on the verge of conference play. This one bunted foul. Volunteers are 17-0 for the first time in the modern era.
Wow.
Before SEC play begins to start conference play unbeaten.
Yeah, they're in the top two of just about every statistic in the SEC.
Mm-hmm. Willis shows bunt, pushes the bunt foul. So he's down in the count 0-2.
Looks like Reggie's going to call offensive timeout and talk to him. He tried to do too much there. It's just a sacrifice. All you got to do is bunt it hard enough where it'll make the third baseman come field the ball and vacate third base and everybody move up. Now it's almost like more of a drag bunt where you're trying to miss fair or foul.
See the top 8 in the SEC. Texas, a winner last night. Longhorns have won 14 straight. They're at Mississippi State this weekend. Sooners will be at South Carolina. And kind of the big one is Florida versus Tennessee to get the SEC play started. Number 2 versus number 7. So he showed bunt, and the pitch misses inside. Dawson Willis playing against his hometown team, Louisiana Tech. Spent a couple of years in Division II at LSU in Eunice, Louisiana. As he lifts this one foul over on the third base side, that's out of play. We talked about it this year, but he was the Division II Defensive Player of the Year last year, was Dawson Willis.
Yeah, and he's rangy. He's got really good speed for a corner guy. Not much gets by him over there at third base.
Had a good weekend against Sam Houston State. This past weekend, had a couple of doubles as they throw in behind Dayton Taki. Sooners have plated 3 and still nobody out here in the second inning.
And protect and wasn't able to reach it.
And now it looks like the Bulldogs are going to go to the bullpen. Head coach Lane Burroughs is out. And Louisiana Tech going to make a pitching change with 1 out in the second inning. And the Sooners up 3-0. We'll talk about the new pitcher for Louisiana Tech when we return to Norman. So this would be one of the best arms on the staff. And he'll face the top of the Sooner lineup, Jason Walk. Infield is in at the corners. Walk grounded out on a high chopper to the third baseman Colton Coates his first time. Batting .377, a homer, 10 runs driven in. And he batted left-handed his first time. The switch hitter now batting right against this left-hander. This is one of 3 games involving SEC teams tonight. As Walk takes strike 2, you've got Nichols at Mississippi State, and South Carolina will be hosting Oklahoma this weekend. The Gamecocks are playing host to Georgia State tonight. There go both runners, and the pitch bounces up there. And so it'll be a double steal executed by the Sooners.
Yeah, good job base running there. You know, obviously Reggie giving them the green light, but they get a good jump. They just
the fourth Sooner run as Dayton Taki crosses the plate, and it's 4-0. And down to third on the play goes Mudler. So a good job there by Jason Walk to drive in a run.
Yeah, didn't hit it super hard, but good enough to get the run in. It was a good job stealing those bags to get the guy to third base with less than 2 outs.
Sooners are second in the SEC in stolen bases. Those two right there were numbers 42 and 43. And only Kentucky has stolen more bases in the league. So you start to put that together. They strike out the fewest of any team in the league. They steal nearly the most bases. That sounds like what Reggie Willitz's chaos offense is designed to do, as this one is rifled foul down the right field line.
Yeah, and they don't strike out and they walk a lot. They get on base and create offense. Not always through hits, but being able to have a good eye for the zone and taking walks when they get them.
Gamble grounded out to the second baseman Ballard, his first time tonight. 1-2 the count. Pretty good pitch, but a little bit down and away that time from Luke Nichols. Breaking ball pulled foul. Trey Gamble was 4 out of 8 in the Sam Houston State series for the Sooners over the weekend. Oklahoma three games.
Yeah, good piece of hitting. He left that ball up and he turned on it.
So Trey Gamble continues to hit well. That's his 7th run driven in. He's batting over .340 on the year. And the 9th Sooner batter of the inning stands in. It's Easton Carmichael. All 5 runs, by the way, charged to the starting pitcher, Cade Parker. And the book is closed on him. Easton Carmichael flied out to the right fielder Brody Drost his first time. The Sooner DH tonight, batting .315.